Whether you're into your art journaling or mixed media, you've been doing it for years, or maybe you're just starting to dabble. We've all had those days where we just need that little bit of inspiration to get us going. So don't worry, today I'm going to share with you some of my tips and tricks, easy techniques to break that white page and get those creative juices flowing again. So come on, come join me and let's go have some fun. Hi again, one and all, Tori here, the Artful Dabbler, back again wishing you a very belated Happy New Year. Apologies for the gap between my videos. I got hit with the flu on Boxing Day and I'm only just over it, but super excited to be back having some fun with you guys today. So here we are, the dreaded blank page. It's one of those things, it doesn't matter whether, as I said in my intro, you could be doing art journaling for years, just getting started, you've gone out, you've bought a heap of stuff, you're raring to go, you sit down, you stare at it, and nothing. I'm going to show you my go-to stash to start with. So the first thing I use, a lot, will be my jelly plates. And I've got different sized ones in here. I've got the circle one, triangle, and which ones have we got in here? I think that's the 8x8 one. I've got a slightly larger one as well, but to be honest, it won't fit in the screen. But it's not the 12x12 actually. I think that's the 8x10. Bear with me. Not overly sure. Sorry about that. I will find out and I will put it in. But it's it's the one just below the 12x12. I know that. So yes, so jelly plates for mark making. I have a box of bits that I've really collected from around the house. So I've started a brand new box to show you. So I've got a handful of different shaped lids in that bag. Some crumpled up clear wrapping here, but it's that kind of clear wrapping that holds the crumpled shape, so it looks great. I have bubble wrap, that's got small bubbles, and then we have bubble wrap, bigger bubbles. Material, old bits of cut off material. Let me see if I can put that against something that you can see. There you go. So material, and all of this you can spray through, put paint through, just anything that gets those marks down. I've got some textured packaging. Again, it's all recycling and cheap and easy to find. This is actually I think that was a little stencil that I made. Let's see if you can see that. There you go. Sorry about the reflection. There you go. And I made that by putting a laminate pocket together and then running it through my die cutting machine. And if you don't know what a die cutting machine is, if you're just getting started, go and have a quick Google, have a quick look-see. But basically it lets you cut different shapes using what's called a metal die. It's a metal shape, and the compression between some plates and your card or paper or whatever cuts out that particular shape. And you can also emboss with it. You can get different textures on your paper. So here's just a random embossing folder, and again you would sandwich it in this plate, and it would push the card into the indentations, and you get wonderful patterns. And again, you can use those and cut those up and put those in your projects too. Just some more crumpled up little bits of paper. So there's lots of stuff lying around the house that you can literally grab to make marks on a page. And remember, when you're starting a project, and especially if you've drawn a blank, honestly, my top tip would be, don't think about the end result. Don't think that you have to go into it knowing what it's going to look like at the end. Let it come organically to you. You could spend hours sitting there trying to come up with something and then just end up never getting anything done. Let it happen, then look what you've got on your paper and see what you can pull from it. And remember, at the end of the day, tip number 2, probably joint number 1, there is no art police. No one is going to come knocking on your door telling you that what you've done is no good. Everything you do is great, even if you don't like it, and it can all be used in your art. Don't like it as a full piece? Cut it up into strips. Use it as collage paper. If you absolutely hate it, what's the worst? Throw some gesso over it and take yourself back to a white page again. This is meant to be fun. It's certainly not meant to be something that causes you stress. Right, enough jibber jabber. Let's start playing. Right then, so I've got a few different papers I'm going to be putting stuff on. I'm using my brand new Art by Marlene journal. This is the 5x7 one. I've only done a couple of pages in this. Yep, in fact I've only really finished sort of one. So I'm going to take a few pages out of this, like so, and I've also got tissue paper. And again, if you're new, you don't have to go out necessarily buy tissue paper. I mean, it's not really one of the most expensive, obviously, papers to buy, but it's in packaging. You know, get a new pair of shoes, it's full of tissue paper. Save it, use that. So I've got some tissue paper there, and there's one sheet here. I've also got one as my roll-off sheet. I've got some rice paper by Indigo Blue, and there's, to this rice paper, there's a sort of a slightly rougher side and a smoother side. So I'll probably might even cut that in half, or use another sheet and do it on both sides and see the different results we get for that. Plain old copier paper. Right, got my jelly plates. Smaller one, I might use it to do printing. A lot of the time I use it actually just to roll paint on. And we're going to be using this one for my print making. And again, don't worry if you don't have a jelly plate, I will be showing you alternative ideas. Again, if you're new and you haven't seen a jelly plate before and you're going, oh, it's filthy, she hasn't cleaned it, we like to keep it like this. The more grungy bits on it, the better, because every time you pull a print off, it pulls up these little bits, even a bit more texture on your page. Okie doke. Right, so first page, I'm going to start with a bit of copy paper. For now I'm just going to fold that in half. Badly folded in half. Sorry. Right, sorry, jelly plate and paper. This is the point where everybody starts going, I don't know what colours to use, and then you sit there for ages and you're not sure and you can't pick. Well, do you know what? Initially, I'm not even going to touch my jelly plate. Take the paper, grab bubble wrap, grab wrapping, literally anything plastic and scrunchy, and we're going to use that to start with. So you're not even thinking about this bit of paper here. I'm going to pop that there for a second. I'm going to take this, literally, I think this was the plastic sheeting used for when we did some decorating in the house. Okay, I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take some of my Pearlywinks sprays. I think I'm going to start with. Right, I'm going to grab my water spray. I mean, look, there you go, page broken, fear over, it's done, first layer, and I think I love that. So, gonna go and leave that to dry. Okay, we're not going to waste this, don't worry. I'm going to get my rice paper sheet here, and I'm going to take a nice big one of that, and as you can see, with rice paper, very absorbent. Okay, you see that? Now, what would I use that for when that's dry? I tear that up and I use that as collage strips in my journals, in a mixed media project. So again, you've started, you're making marks, you're doing something. You're not panicking, you're not trying to work out composition. This is all meant to be fun. Right, let me put that over there to dry. Okay, jelly plate time. Right, okay, so if you are using water-based ink sprays, which my Pearlywinks are, if you spray that directly onto a jelly plate, because of the composition of a jelly plate, it doesn't look terrible, but it will bead up quite a lot. Tips and tricks around that: if you can use gesso on it, a acrylic matte medium, slightly better, because obviously you've got to remember, if it's a white gesso, it's going to make whatever you put on there, especially if they're water-based inks, it's going to give them a more chalky finish. Or clear gesso. So I'm going to pop some matte medium on there for now, because I'm going to spray my inks on. So I'm going to take some of my Liquitex basics, just bit of copy paper, I think. Not bad. Still got ink and paint on there, and I want to leave that there. That's great. So maybe we can introduce that box of yummy stuff that I showed you earlier. Let's start using that as stencils first. Use the stuff that you've got around the house. Okay, so going to take that material. Okay, I'm going to go in again, I think, with another bit of copy paper. Anything up? No, not really. I don't think there was actually too much There's bits still stuck on there, but maybe I didn't leave it on long enough, but that's okay. That's okay because I can print onto that, so that's fine. Right, I tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to put the jelly plate away for a second. We're going to have a quick look at some of the pages that we've already just got and done. Take that one first. Okay, so most of that's dry except for a little bit of spray bottom and a tiny little bit of that paint, but that's okay, I can work with that. So we're going to take bubble wrap. In my opinion, you can never have too much bubble wrap. Again, sprays, inks, if you're going to, depending on whether they're an acrylic spray, as I say, the ones I'm using at the moment are water-based. If you put a layer of matte medium over that, it will hold it to a certain point. It's not going to be as good as paint, and we're going to use paint right now. Yeah, great. Next layer. Always give it a dry again, because you don't want to be making any kind of mud. It's all about not overthinking it. This is us having a play. It's not us doing a finished project. It's me babbling with a jelly plate. It's me showing you all the different things that you can just pick up around the house without having to spend a fortune on going out and getting loads of different tools to start with. I have a craft room overflowing with stuff, but yet I still end up using the same things a lot of the time over and over again. Now my New Year's resolution is actually to use a lot more of my other bits and pieces, but I want to show you that don't overthink it, just do it. There are no mistakes here. You could even use old makeup. You know, this is not something that's going to sit in the gallery. This is something just for you. It's not something that needs to be stressful. Right, I think I shall pop a bit of spray on now. I'm going to use, this is one of the Candy Shop ones, I think. Yeah, this is one of my Pearlywinks Candy Shop, and this is the mint. And we'll give it a test wake up. Okay. And I like this because it's a hint. You can layer them, just give them a dry, go over again, give them a dry, go over again, and you can get a much deeper and deeper and deeper colour. But again, I'm just going for that hint. This is just my background. And I don't always keep working on the same background. I'm going to leave this to dry by itself now. I could do it with my heat tool, but I'm not. I'm going to move on to something else. Because eventually what I find is I get to a certain point with a background and you look at it and you go, oh, I know exactly what I want to do with this. So it's that whole process of just getting started. Don't overthink it. Don't try and plan it. There are projects that you'll go into and you'll know exactly what you want to do. But the whole point of doing art journaling is it's your space, it's your time. And if it's stressing you out, well then should you really be doing it? Maybe you just need to rethink how you're approaching your art journaling if you're getting stressed out. It's fun, it's getting mucky. It's not making the greatest prints in the world to start with. But eventually, you keep doing more, adding to it, completely gessoing over it. You will find your style, you'll get to know your products better, and that's what's really important, is just playing. Get to know your products well. I'm going to take my jelly plate again. Right, this time I think I'm going to take a stencil. I'll grab another journal page. Printing on different papers, printing on different textures. Don't be afraid of it. As I said, anything that you don't actually use in your main project, if you don't like it, collage, texture. You know, I do, when I do my art journaling, a lot of it's sort of a mixed media journal. Right, so there you go. So in fact what I'll do is, before that dries quickly, I'm going to do it on this side, take the paint from the stencil, turn it over, pop it down. Let that dry, because I'm going to go over that then with a, sorry, I know that sort of moving fast motion is not great for the camera. I'm going to go in with my heat tool, and please don't get too close if you're going to do this to your jelly plate. Just do it from high up and not close at all. Just trying to put some warmish air to dry the surface. Okay. I think that's the thing sometimes with jelly prints, people can put it up just a little bit too quick. Tip, you can always have a quick look, see, is it clinging or not? Now with tissue paper, now it's that, which is different to rice paper. Obviously, just basically not as much to be as absorbent. You're not necessarily always going to get as great a print as you will do with something, say, like rice paper. I like it. Let's put that on there so you can see it. I mean, yeah, I can work with that. The yellow doesn't hugely go, but it's not terrible. I can always go over that with something. So look, I know it's simple, I know it's basic, I know it's going in with household stuff and making marks. But what you've got to remember is that fear you have when you sit down looking at a blank piece of paper. We overthink, we overplan, we go onto YouTube, we go and look at people's works on Instagram and everything else, and we want to replicate it. You know, we've all done it, and then you get all your bits and bobs out and you just go, I have no idea where to get started. Well, I'm here to tell you that everything that you see posted on Instagram, a lot of the time, not all the time, but a good bit of the time, you've got to remember, they're people's best work. These are pictures that people have worked on for a lot longer than you think. They haven't just sat down for about 20 minutes and had a quick play and this incredible piece of art's been created, whether it's just all grungy or just, you know, or a beautiful drawing. They've spent a good amount of time on it. Plus, they have been doing this for a long time. I haven't gone into any detail. These are all very basic. Making marks on paper. But it's taking that fear out of getting started. It's that not thinking about it. And from this, you may well come up with an absolutely brilliant idea, and it will have absolutely nothing to do with the piece of work you've done. Or you'll create something, and eventually, as you've added more and more layers, you start seeing patterns in your backgrounds. Remember, if it's too bright, you can take it down with a little bit of gesso. If there's a particular area you like, well, do you know what? Cut it down. You don't have to use something that big. Have a small ATC size. Or if you like a certain area on a page, well then make yourself a mask. Cover up that area in whatever shape you want. Could be the shape of a person, anything. Could be just torn paper shapes. It doesn't matter. But block that area out and then black out the rest of it, or grey it out, or blur it out, or just put a mishmash of very muted colours, and then when you take your mask off, you're just going to reveal that area in the shape that you've had made your mask of. So I know it's all common sense. I know you guys know this. It's just sometimes we end up overcomplicating things. Just having a play, getting your fingers mucky, and just doing it. Not thinking about it, just doing it. Breaks that page. It breaks that page, and you don't have to make that your piece of art. As I said, tear it up, collage. You can stick double-sided sticky tape, make it into a tape. You can make it into like a washi tape. I mean, I could well do that with my Chinese rice paper, even with the tissue paper, even with this. That would make a gorgeous looking washi tape. I could put some kind of characters along each strip, marks, you know. It's just not, I know I'm repeating, it's not overthinking it. I know this isn't my normal kind of thing. I know normally I do a project from beginning to end, but I've had so many people say to me, Tori, I want to do art journaling, I want to do mixed media. I've never done it before, and I see all these grungy backgrounds and I don't know how to do it. It's just playing. Getting to know your products, getting to know the colours you like, the different combination of colours. And again, I don't have an art degree, you know, but nature will give you a great reference to what colours go well together. Just look outside your window, look at all the different colours that are in a leaf. You know, that there's inspiration everywhere for colour combinations, so don't let your brains overthink it. That's my mantra for the year. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink anything. Just let it happen. It's all your artwork. There are no mistakes. And it's meant to be fun. So, these are some of the backgrounds that we've done. You know, they're not massive, huge masterpieces, but they are a start. They are something that I will let dry. I will pop into my journal, and then I will come back in a few days, have a play with, there was that one, I think we had that on the other side. Yep. Look at all of this. They're just pages full of possibility. And that's breaking the page. That's just taking the fear out of it and enjoying it. Your hand's this bad? It's actually not too bad for me. So, I hope I've inspired you. I hope I haven't bored you too much. I wanted to show people that it's meant to be fun. That's what it's all about. It's meant to be fun. So if you've got any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you want to know some more ideas on how to use the jelly plate or absolutely anything, again, either go over to my Facebook page. There's a link. You can get there from the About spiel on my channel. There's a link there that will take you to my Facebook page. You can either leave me a message there or you can send me a message via Messenger. Leave it in the comments below. there's absolutely anything you want me to show you, I am more than happy to do it. I will be doing more videos where I'm going to be taking some of what we've done today and then we're going to be turning them into a full journal page. I'm also going to be bringing you some videos, a lot of people have been asking me for this, of showing you how I do my encaustic paintings. And yes, I promise you this year is the year I will be big and brave and I will get down with the kids and I shall do a vlog. We can have a good old natter and you can get to know me. I will answer those questions that many of you have been asking me very, very, very sweetly. And honestly, please, you don't need to apologise for asking the very obvious question. It's okay. I certainly don't. I am very hard to offend me, but certainly asking me how do I do what I do when I'm registered legally blind. I get it. I'd ask. So I'm more than happy to answer any questions. So don't worry. Right. So from my arty heart to yours, make this the year where you just go for it. Take the plunge. Get arty. Get your hands dirty. Enjoy it. It's your space. No rules. This is where you can be happy. So be good, be safe, be kind, be loved, and from my arty heart to yours, I'll see you again soon. Bye all.